Hi, this is Yomi, and this is my second video on my YouTube channel, Yomi's African Diaspora Adventures. I start with apologizing for the quality of the video recording of the first video. The sound was very bad. Apologies. I'm a student. I'm learning YouTubing, and I can assure you that as time goes on, the videos will get better and better. Anyway, what are we talking about today? What do I want to talk about today? Today, I want to give you my 4 top reasons why I decided to spend a lot of my retirement time outside the UK. In being specific, why I'm spending a lot of time in African countries, particularly Nigeria and particularly Lagos in Nigeria. The first is cost of living and quality of life. The reality, I worked in the UK between 1989 for about 20 plus years as a social worker, adolescent school-based behavior improvement practitioner, and mental health worker. And although I didn't get the full state pension, I got a decent amount, and I had a small private pension as well. So I'm assured an income of 800 plus pounds a month. In Africa, that's a lot. But in the UK, it is abysmal in the sense that I feel sorry for pensioners who only can survive on their pension in the UK without having any other source of income. It's not easy. In London, we all know you'll be pushed to get a room for £600. In the northwest, where I stayed a bit, Manchester, Greater Manchester, you could get a small flat, studio flat for about £500-600. If you're lucky, if you go to the outskirts, which is not bad. But for me, that meant that I would have less of my income to actually do what I enjoy, traveling. And so I just said it's a no-brainer. I have contacts, I have links with Africa. I'm a dual citizen, and also I've lived and worked in Lagos. I have friends there. So what am I doing? And quality of life, I enjoyed places. I enjoy traveling. I enjoy meeting up with my friends. A lot of my friends are friends I made during university days in Lagos. And also, I need a warmer climate. So it made no sense to stay in the UK. Probably miserable, grumbling, complaining when I have links to Africa. The next reason, let me check my list. Yes, to know more about my culture. I define myself as a British-born Pan-African of Yoruba heritage and Nigerian citizenship. So heritage-wise, I want to know more about my Yoruba culture. Funny enough, when I returned back to the UK, when I came to Nigeria for the first time, sorry about that. When I came to Nigeria for the first time, I came as a 14-year-old teenager, and I went to boarding school, and I loved boarding school. However, they had a very daft rule. The boarding school I went to, a school in Shagam, I won't mention the name. And the rule was speaking of vernacular is an offense. Basically, speaking Yoruba is an offense. And if you're caught speaking Yoruba during the daytime, you will be punished. And here's me, boom, 14-year-old teenager, landed from UK to Shagam, enjoying my life, wanting to learn the language. I'm getting punished anytime I speak Yoruba, anytime the teachers hear me speak Yoruba. And also, I used to get punished by actually telling the teachers this daft rule in the first place. How am I supposed to learn Yoruba if I'm getting punished? Anyway, moving forward, some years later, I became a teacher in a school in Lagos, and the students didn't really understand English. I didn't really understand Yoruba, and somehow they had to pass economics and government. Those were the subjects I was to teach them. So we made a deal. Students, look, students, you teach me Yoruba, I will teach you English, and somehow you will pass economics and government. And actually, they did pass. Most of them passed very well. So that was good for me. I learned Yoruba. And on returning back to the UK, I kept on coming back to Nigeria, wanting to know more and wanting to know more about Yoruba culture. And also, this is the reason why I moved to Badagry now, because it's close to Benin Republic. And Benin Republic, they have, they speak, some parts of the culture speak Yoruba. And actually, I even traveled to Cuba towards the end of last year and spent a whole month there, primarily from money I was able to save by living in Nigeria. And I even learned there that they speak Yoruba there. And if I'm lucky, I may get to Brazil. Anyway, enough of that. So that's the second reason why I wanted to return back and retire in Lagos. The third reason is having a base to travel. As I said, I'm a Pan-African. I want to travel around Africa, particularly west coast of Africa. Nigeria is part of West Africa. Particularly, I wouldn't mind spending a month or two in Morocco. And also, I wouldn't mind spending a month in Tanzania and doing some Southern Africa trips, spending periods of one month, finding out what it's like living on a pension for a month in all these countries. And I can do that if I'm based in Lagos. Lagos has a very good airport, flights all around the continent. The other travel I like doing is travel that I call Afropean travel, traveling to African UK cities, European cities that have a strong influence of African communities. Cities where African communities are vibrant, are doing a lot to impact those cities, and cities where those European cities have also benefited a lot from slave exploitation of Africa and colonization. Part of my history interests, and I can do that by living in Lagos for a greater part of the year, saving money, and spending 3 months, twice a year, maybe 1.5 months, twice a year, visiting these cities. And later I'll be dropping videos of them. And also, who knows, I may invite some of you to them to come along with me. Big shout out to Naki, who runs African Lisbon Tours. That's the first one I went on, and it really impacted how I do Europe. And if you are in Lisbon, look him up online, African Lisbon Tours. You'll enjoy it. The next reason why I want to travel, let me just check my list. Yes, number 4. The last reason why I want to travel, why I want to live in Africa for a greater part of my retirement age, particularly Lagos, is tourism. I like to give back. And yes, the area I give back is having worked in schools in the UK, having worked in things around social and emotional learning, emotional well-being, mental health. I run projects, I fund projects, small projects, working with state run schools, training school counselors, giving them providing continued professional development for school counselors, secondary school teachers, educators of adolescents and young adults. And these are free, and I enjoy them. And as time goes by, I will tell you guys more about them, because who knows, if you're a mental health specialist, if you're a counselor, youth worker, you may want to volunteer to come for a working holiday for one of them. Videos about that will follow later. So those are my 4 key reasons why I decided to spend a greater part of each year, a greater part of my retirement living in an African country. For me specifically, being based in Lagos, Nigeria, and then going to other African countries. The four reasons again are cost of living, stroke quality of life. Second, to get to know my culture more. Third, to be able to have a location, a base where I can travel around Africa and travel into Europe when I do my Afropean tours. And finally, I like volunteering, and I can offer some skills that I can give back to members of the community I live. Okay, people, thank you for listening to me, and I'll be dropping videos each Sunday. So thanks for this. Have a nice week and stay safe.